That is beautiful. Can you hear that? Crispy, isn't it? You can, oh, it's beautiful. Leave that to drain for just a few seconds. And then we'll turn it out onto this plate here with some paper on it, and that just remove the excess oil. And for me, this is the sort of thing, you know, you don't serve a portion of squid to each person. That would be really poncy. What you do is you put a big mound of it in the middle of the table and all dive in, and you know, that's how you eat squid. Lovely. Just serve with some mayonnaise with a bit of lemon juice squeezed into it. Now, does that not make you want a bottle of beer? Must do. Seafood has been enjoyed around the world since civilization began.
The Greeks ate a lot of shellfish, probably going back to the 7th century BC. The sea coast, in fact, thrived with the shellfish. It was brought onto the shore and sold in markets there.
And centuries later, the Romans followed in their footsteps.
The Romans enjoyed seafood enormously. Their main delight was having oysters, but they also had whelks, cockles, something called top shell, a razor shell, and all types of seafood was eaten.
The Roman chef Apicius described how to make a dipping sauce for prawns.
Brown a chopped onion. In a mortar, grind cumin, pepper, lovage and caraway. Add date syrup, honey, vinegar, wine, fish sauce, oil and reduced wine. Boil prawns and serve with the sauce and bread.
Throughout history, seafood has been eaten by rich and poor, from the grandest of banquets to the humblest of street food, but it was usually only eaten in areas by the sea. But all that was about to change. In the 19th century, the new age of transportation began, and seafood broke free. For the first time, it was readily available inland all over the UK.
Cockles! Oysters! After the railways, the cities were full of people selling fish. Not very many fish shops, but sellers selling fish, shellfish. 500 million oysters were eaten in London in a year. I think that was around about 1851.
The old fish market at Billingsgate in London opened in the mid-19th century, selling fish from all over the country. Fish hawkers may not roam the streets anymore, but Billingsgate Market, where they used to get their supplies, is still alive and well. The market still starts early at 5 a.m, but it's moved from its original location by the Thames. Another major change is the range of seafood they're now selling.
More and more people want different types of seafood now. It's not just cod or haddock. We sell about 4,000 oysters a week, about half a tonne of scallops. For every single piece of shellfish, I can't think one that I don't like. Shellfish is fantastic to cook with, but there's one little gem that you never cook with, in my opinion. You always eat it raw, and it's this, the native oyster. It's just fantastic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open you an oyster here. Flat side, curved side. Always work with the flat side up, OK? Because he sits on his little muscle down there. That's what keeps him alive. That is an oyster knife, a really good investment. So get yourself one of those. And what you're going to do is, you see this, the sort of natural oyster shape. At that point there, that's where the knife goes in, all right? You just go in and give it a little twiddle. And then all I'm going to do, watch this, is just twist that knife. And I've broken the muscle that holds the shells together. And now, angle the knife and slide along the top of the shell like that. And then if I just let that flap down, it's that muscle there that keeps the oyster alive. That's what we've got to release. As soon as we've released it, it's down the hatch. What I like to do is take some very finely chopped shallots and add to it some white balsamic vinegar, which I think has got a beautiful mellow taste. And you don't need too much. So a little bit of shallot. And the secret is you always chew twice and then wallop. Down it goes, all right? Barring a glass of champagne, that's got to be the only way to start a meal. For a free set of recipe cards, which includes today's shellfish pasta and details of all Open University programmes, call 0870 900 0314 or go to open2.net, where you'll find all the recipes from this series. Next week on Ever Wondered, eggs.